Merab's him.
He's him. I mean, dude's a machine. You heard him say that. Aljo, not the best fighter, win. Not a good example. Merab, shut up.
It's so funny, man.
Oh, man. Love that guy. But Corey playing the 50-50 leg game with him. And it's, God, every time we bring him up, I just think about him smacking Eileen Perez's ass, bro. And him
I'm sure you do think
smiling.
about that.
Hey, she was there. She showed out for her boy, you know? The Merab
They
fight.
should just get together.
I'm sitting
know.
cage side. Merab's going to fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on Locked Door MMA. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my good buddy, JP. And in today's episode, we will be breaking down and giving our predictions for every single fight for UFC Fight Night, Oliveira versus Gamrot in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. But before we do, JP, last weekend, UFC 320, a historic night. We have a new light heavyweight champion. Let's talk about some of our biggest takeaways from last weekend.
Crazy. Just absolutely crazy. Pereira's just... I feel like... I don't remember... Did you pick Pereira in the first one, or was it just me?
It was just you.
So... I mean, I don't think I thought he was going to do this specifically, but in their first fight, I thought he would come out and throw. And then obviously him not being healthy, which there's probably some stuff to that. I feel like there's always... a story when you do a training camp or whatever when you fight that often, but I mean, Jesus Christ. Dude came out immediately. When he threw that first 1-2 and Ankalaev went straight backwards,
It was on.
I was like, that's it. I think that's it. Like, if Pereira puts you on the back foot on the cage and you can't land anything, Ankalaev threw, I don't know, what would you say, like 9-10 strikes, didn't land anything?
Yeah, probably. They were just defensive. Couple kicks in there to try to keep distance because Pereira was closing it fast.
Yeah, just on him immediately, and then the right hand, boom!
Bam.
The 12-6 elbow usage, gorgeous. I mean, good for him. I know we picked Ankalaev. I'm fine with it, bro. That was disgusting.
Yeah, 1,000% fine with it. 4-1 on the main card, 9-5 overall. Really good card for us. And for all those that complain week in and week out about the money lines and the odds,
Sweet.
our job is to predict the winners, and that's what we do. We're the best at it. I mean, we're not here to give you the best bets for every single fight. We try, right? We give you the winner. We give you our method of victory. We give you those things. But at the end of the day, if we're putting out a lock video, we're going to pick a lock. We're trying to pick the winner of the fight. I don't care about the odds. So let's stop complaining. We got a lot of new followers this week, JP. A lot of new subscribers on YouTube, a lot of new followers on TikTok. So if this is your first full show that you've watched, first of all, welcome. Hit the like button, share the video, comment down below who you guys had winning last weekend, who you got winning this weekend. We want to hear from you. If it's your first time, welcome to the community. We really appreciate you guys. And for those that have been loyal to Locked Door MMA from day one, we appreciate you guys as always. But JP, we got a good new set of fights with a lot of very interesting fighters on this one. Not a pay-per-view, but fight at the top makes it feel like one. Let's start with some of these early prelims here. Simon Oliveira is taking on Luan Lacerda.
Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, me and Brevin talked about this fight a little bit before. We talk about every fight always before, but this fight sucks. Fight's buns. One guy, and before I forget, I know I'm just stopping in the middle of my breakdown. The Yuri fight? Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. We forgot to touch on that. Sorry about that.
Holy shit. I mean, that was that was nuts. Fight of the year candidate for sure. That dude's crazy. And then they were interviewing him, and he was just, God knows what he was saying. Let's go for that.
He was all over the place, dude. He makes zero sense, but people are drawn into it. That's the fun thing about Yuri.
So good.
You know, he's saying one thing like, oh, the story between me and Alex Pereira, I let that be that. But then he's saying he wants the rematch, and I'm the right guy for the fight, but I'm happy for him. Weird. He's a weird dude. And then he's walking out of the octagon, and they have a mic up to him. He's like, that's what had to be done. I had to do that.
Yeah,
Like, that was the plan.
I
Like,
need
his
that.
plan wasn't to knock him out in the first 2 rounds, but he knew he was down in round 3. He's like, "It had to be done.
It is necessary. This is necessary.
It was necessary." That's what he was saying. That's right.
And then he
Crazy.
cried when Pereira was winning or when he won. He's like crying. I fucking love the guy, dude. It's hilarious. And then the other thing, like Brevin's saying, the locks, all the crybabies. I had a bet that was plus money for Ateba Gadier. Okay, dude was minus like 14,000, whatever it was. I got plus money. All right, and I told y'all to add it to the lock, whatever. All right, we don't hit the lock. People are like, you suck. And then we hit the lock. People are like, oh, it's all favorites. Jesus Christ. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, Luan Lacerda has not fought in like 2.5 years. Don't really like him otherwise. His striking's kind of mid to me, and he can grapple a little bit. Simon Oliveira, he has fought. Dude thinks he's a ballerina. Okay, nothing but spinning elbows, doesn't land a single one, and then he looks to grapple. Right. Obviously the Patchy Mix fight. I'm not even going to talk about that, but I thought it would be 2 grapplers, and I thought it would be more on the feet. I feel like both of those guys are pretty high level grappling. These 2 are decently high level, but I feel like it's going to be stuck even more on the feet because both of them are extreme jiu-jitsu versus Patchy. I feel like has some wrestling, but I mean,
Was he, though? We can save that for a different video.
dude's a fucking bum. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think this fight stinks like shit. Not touching it with a 10-foot pole. Give us Luan Lacerda. We think his striking is probably a little bit better. Maybe he can do enough. Don't be surprised with the 2.5-year layoff if both of these guys look like shit. Is what it is. Don't touch it, but give us Lacerda.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think grappling evens itself out. And what we saw in film was Lacerda's got the better striking. Now, is that 2.5-year layoff going to hinder him or elevate his game? That's the fun part about picking Lacerda is we're hoping that he comes back just an absolute animal. We've seen that in the past, with like Yusuf Zalal. Took a lot of time away from the UFC.
True.
However, he was still active and fighting in other promotions, but comes back and he's now going to end up fighting for a title soon. But Lacerda, don't compare him to Yusuf Zalal. I was just using that as an example. These guys are dog water, but we're rocking with Lacerda.
We're walking with him. All right.
We're walking for the last 2 years.
That fight's terrible. I mean, the first 2 fights on this card. Snooze fest. Next one, women's fight. Julia Polastri going up against Karolina Kowalkiewicz.
Yeah. This one This one's an easy one for us. Palastri's 27, gonna be a big favorite going into this one. She's very skilled. She can really do a little bit of everything. She is coming off of a loss in her last time out against Lupita Godinez, which JP and I are pretty high on, depending on her matchups. But Kowalkiewicz, however you pronounce it, she's like 40 years old. She really does not do anything that impresses me. She's on a losing streak. So in this one, we're going to favor the much younger fighter, the one that can move around the octagon, move her feet, has got better striking, can grapple too. Julia Polastri.
Um, am I thinking of the right fight? Was that Loopy fight, the Poopy Loopy fight?
I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she almost kicked the shit literally out of Loopy in the 3rd round. So it was a decent fight. But yeah, I mean, I just think Julia's more dangerous at this point. Carolina, she was okay at one point. She throws decent volume and she'll come forward. Doesn't move her head. And even though she throws decent volume, she's throwing pillows. And she always has. The girl's got no power, so yeah, give us Polastri.
1,000%. Next fight, we got Walter Walker taking on Muhammad Usman.
Oh boy. Oh boy. The Walker brothers, I think I guess the Usman brothers too are high up there, but I think the Walker brothers are more talked about right now just because of what Johnny did and stuff like that. Other than the Taffa brothers, because everybody just hates on the Taffa brothers. So
It's just me. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that hates on the Taffa brothers, but they are trash.
yeah, I've been hearing more people talk about, oh, these guys kind of do pull out a lot. And I'm like,
Really?
Yeah.
See, people are starting to learn.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the videos and taking something from it. They pull out all the time. I mean,
Boss.
Tyreek isn't. Okay.
Maybe
Enough. Enough of me.
Tyreek needs to pull out his knee. Jesus Christ, that was gross. Yeah, this fight. I've been hearing people talk about this fight, and I've been hearing this and hearing that. This fight's gonna be close. This fight's gonna be a good fight because look at the Breshke fight for Walter Walker, and Muhammad's a football player and he's a tough guy and he's big. Guys, we're gonna tell it to you straight up. This fight's not gonna be close. Okay, Muhammad Usman sucks. His brother's good. Muhammad's nothing like his brother. He's a statue, has no movement, super slow. Tries to work behind a jab, even that thing's slow. He beat Hamdi recently. Who cares? Hamdi Dumpty. Dude's a bum. Walter Walker. The Breshke fight was years ago. Look at the physique change since the Breshke fight with every other fight. If that doesn't tell you he's taking it more serious, what is it, Brevin? Triple heel hooks now? 3 in a row?
Yeah, 3 in a row.
And people are like, well, the shot against whoever it was, Kennedy, looked terrible. Yeah, it did. But dude's fucking 6'6", sprinting across the cage. I don't think it's got to look pretty. He's just got to get to you. And I think Kennedy's pretty good. People are like, oh, he got clipped. He did get clipped. But he still got to you and then got to your leg. You got to put him out. I don't think Muhammad Usman has any ability to put him out whatsoever. Give us Walter Walker by sub.
Yeah, 1000%. I like the sub call. I mean, we've seen 3 in a row. If we can bet on the heel hook in specific, we'd probably get a decent value, but the submission's going to be the favorited outcome there as far as method of victory goes. But Usman doesn't move his feet very well, doesn't have great power in his hands. You want to talk about throwing pillows. 6'2", 245, shredded to, I mean,
True.
completely ripped. Doesn't knock people out. I
True.
mean, just doesn't have any power in his hands. I think Walter Walker walks through anything Usman has for him, finds that heel, and locks up another heel hook victory.
We gotta hit up Matty Betts and see where he bet on it, because I know I think it was like the one before Kennedy. I think he bet on him to get a heel hook too. So we gotta find
I
out.
actually know a guy that knows Matty Betts.
We'll get in contact.
Maybe we
with
got
him.
a little connection there.
All right, get in contact with him. Tell him to quit betting on the Eagles. All right, dudes.
Yeah.
Cheeks. All right. Next one. Lucas Rocha going up against Stuart Nicoll.
Should be a good matchup. Nicoll coming off of a loss where he got his neck caught in a guillotine, wasn't really smart. Hopefully he learned something from it, because in this one, in order for him to find success, he's going to have to take down Lucas Rocha, who's got the better of the striking between the two. And, Rocha's no slouch on the ground either. He's a Brazilian. Um, he's got jiu-jitsu, but he's young, kind of inexperienced as far as UFC experience goes, coming off of a loss as well. I do think Nicoll's going to have the better of the exchanges on the ground. The one problem that we see from Lucas Rocha is he doesn't defend takedowns very well. Sure, when he's on his back, he's got some good defense. He can keep people in his guard, but if you're going to get taken down from a guy that's going to look to take you down, not a good recipe to find success. So we do believe that Nicoll is going to be able to implement his grappling and wrestling to find himself a victor on Saturday. Give us Stuart Nicoll.
Yeah, and this fight's not a complete wash, guys. I mean, Lucas can strike. Like Brevin said, he's got the better strike. He can strike. He also throws a very well-timed and good-looking flying knee. He does it quite a bit. And he normally times it pretty well. So that is one thing. If I'm Stuart's camp, if I'm Stuart himself, he's going to throw it. Maybe feint a level change, use your hands, and then level change at the end of your combo. Do something. We just cannot eat a knee. But that was kind of the deciding factor for us. There's no sprawling. His hips don't move. There's no pressure on the head. The takedowns are way too easy. Clayton Carpenter was taking this dude down at will. It was way too easy. That's what Stuart Nicoll's good at. And then, sure, he was safe for a little bit against Clayton. Stuart's got good top pressure, right? That's what he's very good at. So if you can't sprawl, I just don't like it. And I don't want to pick a guy and bet on a guy who's clearly got the better striking, but just can't sprawl, and then you're pissed the whole time because he's just on his back. So give us Nicoll.
Yeah, for this matchup, you got from a betting perspective, you got a few options. Nicoll's going to either win by submission or decision. You could do a double chance method prediction on those two. And Rocha probably would find a KO. Like JP said, the flying knees are there. He's got the better striking. He could probably find the chin of Nicoll if he ends up winning that fight. That's really the only way that I see that going. Submission or decision from Nicoll and Rocha by KO.
100%.
All right, moving up the card, we have Irina Alekseeva taking on Beatriz Mesquita.
All right. Interesting one. Another women's fight and a debut. All right. This Beatriz girl is, I mean, depending on who you ask, the bee's knees, apparently, in the jiu-jitsu world, in the grappling world. She's got multiple championships, world titles, this and that. Her accolades for grappling and jiu-jitsu are a lot, very high. She is a minus 575 favorite right now, which is massive. And isn't she like 34, dude? Yeah. 34 and a half. So making your UFC debut at 34, kind of a red flag already. The women that she has fought up into now are trash. And she's a minus 575. Kind of sketch, right? Kind of sounds like a trap line. The girl she's fighting sucks. Irina sucks. She does nothing but walk forward and throw haymakers from her hip. Call her Ju Sang you moron. Put your freaking hands up. She just throws bombs. I mean, she's quite literally the definition of she just outwills girls because she's bigger and she just too much physicality to deal with and just comes forward and throws haymakers. Doesn't move her head. She gets hit with everything. I think she's quite literally going to walk into a takedown or a back take by the bee's knees Beatrice. Okay? And I think she's getting subbed. Give us Beatrice.
The bee's knees Beatrice. JP, you know who has a you know who she has a win over in grappling?
Beatrice?
Yeah.
You?
Not me. Hey now.
Hey now. Tyreek?
Interest. Yeah, maybe Tyreek. Wow. Misha Tate. Misha Tate.
Really?
They grappled back in the day. She got the better of Misha Tate. And if you guys do recall, Misha Tate choked out Holly Holm in 2016, way back in the day. So yeah, I mean, high level grappler, like JP said, she does have the skills necessary to find success in the UFC. And like, what are we doing hating on an individual making their UFC debut late into their 30s, right? We got Poetan, who's going to be considered a Hall of Famer, one of the best fighters in the world. Dude's almost 40 himself, and he made his UFC debut when he was like 35 or something. So stop hating on her, all right? Very high level. The one thing I like about Mesquita, JP, that we don't see a lot of other high level women's grapplers do is she uses her hands to enter in for takedowns. That's the one thing that a lot of these women don't do that ends up getting them caught. We saw one just the other week, and I forget her name, but when she's trying to enter the pocket, she's not throwing punches. She's just reaching out, trying to grab. And when you do that, you're going to get popped. You're going to get hit. And if you don't move your head, there's a chance that you may get knocked out. Now, the girl was really tough. She had a good chin. She ate a lot of punishment to get those takedowns and ended up winning the fight. But that's a scary individual to put your money behind when they're doing that and acting in that way. Mesquita does a really nice job utilizing her boxing, getting inside the pocket to then level change, get the takedowns. And from there, you're in her world. I think she's very skilled. Give us Beatriz Mesquita. I know we already said it, but I'm excited about her UFC debut.
Should be good. Good to see a finish here. You talk about Montague who just fought?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
High level grappler.
big girl.
Great pressure, strong, good takedowns, but she doesn't enter the pocket with nothing but putting her hands out, just trying to grab onto the other girl. So not a great game plan.
Sure.
The other thing I was gonna say one more thing about Alekseeva, as far as the betting method submission, I think Alekseeva's very prone to getting her back taken. We saw that in her last match. I think it's going to be a rear naked choke. Mesquita's definitely got the skills. If she has Alekseeva's back, night, game over. The other thing that she does well, JP, is if she gets on top of you, she'll ground and pound extremely well. She gets a lot of her victories in that method as well. So KO or submission, KO TKO or submission for Mesquita would be the betting play there.
Um, yeah, and it'll be nice to see a finish in women's MMA. Right? I'm sick of watching. I mean, granted, the over 2.5 has done more than its fair shake for us, but
It's paid the mortgage, bud.
yeah, yeah. So maybe I
Yeah.
should just shut up. But I also alluded to it right there. I know we should have talked about it earlier. What the fuck is Ju saying you doing? That's all I'm gonna say. Because I said something to Brevin. I can't. I'm not saying it on here. Anyways, let's move up from the bee's knees. Vitor Petrino. I think this is his second fight at heavyweight, right? Going up
Correct.
against Thomas Peter Griffin Peterson.
Yeah, that should tell us a lot. Don't make me laugh, brother, right before I go into the breakdown.
Peter.
Uh, this should be a good um fight to see what Petrino truly has at heavyweight because Peterson is going to look to wrestle and bring the pressure towards Vitor Petrino. Now, we've always known of the power that Petrino holds. Sometimes his fight IQ is not all there, especially at light heavyweight. But since moving up to heavyweight, he looked good in his performance. He has power in his hands. He can put your lights out. Thomas Peterson, not the best striker, but he will press forward, put a lot of pressure on you, and look to take you down. Good wrestler. Petrino, though, I think is more skilled. And in this one too, Petrino is always going to give up some size fighting at heavyweight now because there's some monsters at heavyweight, 6'6", 6'5". I mean, even some guys that stand at 6'7". Like Petrino is going to be a small dude at 6'2". Lucky for him, Thomas Pearson's only 6'1". They're going to be around the same height, same size, and Petrino is very strong. Look for him to fend off the takedowns, maybe throw in a submission. He's good with that as well, obviously being Brazilian, but the power from Petrino, I think, is going to be a big, big problem for Peterson. We've seen that in the past, and that is one of his Achilles heels is getting hit because he doesn't have good boxing. And if he gets hit by Petrino, it's going to be a short night.
Um, you say he's given up size. The height department probably against most of these guys. In the thigh department, absolutely not. Dude's legs are fucking huge. Talking tree
Yeah.
trunks. Okay? This dude is running through the A gap, and you're a safety. You got to come up, fill the box. If he hits you in the head with his knee, you're going out. Okay? You're going to bed. We see it all the time. All right? We saw, I mean, Tua's a quarterback, almost killed himself, throwing up gang signs on national television. But yeah, dude's legs are huge, and he's got fast kicks, leg kicks, body kicks. He'll throw them up high. Vitor pissed us off at the end of last year because he was out kickboxing Dustin Jacoby, and then got caught.
Yeah.
Right, and the fight before that, he got caught in a gilly from Anthony Smith. Right, so dumbass things happened. His last fight, he did look much better, and this one, he is going to be quicker. Thomas Peterson, I feel like his only route to victory is just ragdolling Petrino and grapple fucking him. This is a 3-round fight. I think the only chance that he has of doing that is maybe in the 3rd round, right? If Petrino's tired and gasses. Other than that, yeah, I think he's too fast. Petrino throws too straight, hits too hard. Shamil Gaziev put out Peterson. I think Petrino definitely has the power to. So, yeah, give us Vitor.
Yeah, and I will say, I think Petrino is probably one of the more well-rounded heavyweight grapplers that we have inside the organization at this moment. We don't have a lot of them, but being that he used to fight at light heavyweight, that is something you have to be good at to find success, which he is. And then plus the Brazilian background as well always helps. But heavyweight, as far as the heavyweight division goes, there's not a lot of guys that can out grapple Petrino, in my opinion. But is it going to be the grappling or just pure wrestling? Because that's what we see from Peterson most of the time.
True. And I like that's why I said the 3rd round, because if Petrino gasses out, I mean, Peterson will probably be pretty tired too. But in the heavyweight division, these motherfuckers are huge, and when they lay on top of you, it's Jesus.
Yeah.
Bunch of fat boys.
All right. Moving up. Rafael Filho taking on Clayton Carpenter.
Hey, this is a good one. I like this one. Filho, kind of a guy who can do it all a little bit, right? His striking is, I'd say, better than average. His grappling, that's kind of his bread and butter, right? And he's one of those guys who's good at, I don't necessarily need to take you down type stuff to start grappling with you. He'll wrap himself around you, and then maybe you'll fall, and that's how the scrambles and stuff happen. So he's not bad. We do like Filho. Um, Only 32, which surprised me. I don't know why I thought Filho was like 39 or something. On the other hand, Clayton Carpenter. Okay, number one, you guys know how I feel about hometown fighters. Got to represent Phoenix. Okay, love that. Number two, this kid I like a lot. Pause. He can strike, he can box, and he can grapple, right? He can wrestle, he can grapple you. We talked about Lucas Rocha earlier. Clayton was getting to his hips at will, taking him down at will, beat him up with an elbow, cut him open real bad, and then took his back, choked him out in the second round. Rocha was kind of landing on the feet, but so is Clayton. Because Clayton's combos, they're quick, they're fast. He likes to work on the inside. He likes to work body shots. In our eyes, I feel like Filho is just got to get a sub in the midst of all this. I feel like Clayton's faster on the feet. He's got more power, and we just like how he mixes it up more. And he can wrestle. So I feel like Filho's going to have to jump a ghillie, jump a darce, jump something in a scramble to get it done. Other than that, I feel like Clayton Carpenter everywhere just wins. So give us a Carpenter.
Yeah, I was telling JP before we started filming, I think Filio might have um, a slight power advantage, like one punch power advantage if he lands something completely clean. But from a pure striking perspective, Carpenter's much more skilled, much more technical, and he can grapple in his own right. Good wrestler as well. He's very well rounded, and Filio is one of these guys that accepts being on his back. He's comfortable down there. He is a grappler at heart. Not a good recipe if you're looking to win a fight. I mean, the judges see that control time, obviously getting punched and elbowed in the face too, which Carpenter can do very well from the top. So, like I said, I think Carpenter's got the advantages in all facets of this fight. Now, the lines are close. I think this one definitely favors Carpenter. You're going to get real close lines. So, pretty good one to look at if you're looking at betting this fight.
True. True. Yeah, I feel like the lines aren't nearly as bad as last card. I feel like the majority of fights are
Yeah, but
pretty close.
that tends to happen on pay-per-views, especially. Like,
True.
I feel like sometimes some of these fights are set up so that we just see high action, big time knockouts. The crowd is happy, the crowd is pleased, people are paying to see these fights, which, I mean, prayers up to the guy that fought Ottaba Gaudier. Oh my goodness. Ottaba Gaudier is an absolute killer.
Um, yeah, that was funny. I was watching it with a buddy of mine. I was watching it with Tony, right? And he was doing his better picks. I think he downloaded like the better app. And he was like, what else should I do? I gotta get it to plus money somehow. And I was like, I'll tell you what I did to get to plus money for a Teba. And it's only like over under picks and stuff. And he was like, the only thing is his line is 17.5. I was like, oh, take the under. Absolutely. He was like, I don't know, bro. It's kind of sketchy. And I was like, dude, I'm telling you, Ateva's going to hit him like maybe 3 times. I think he ended the fight with 6 significant strikes. And Tony was fucking, because it cashed out. He was so happy. He was like, that's crazy. I was like, I told you it was a lamb going out to slaughter, basically, is what it was.
So the line was 17.5 significant strikes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, dude. You get hit by one of those strikes from Ottaba Gaudier, you're going to bed.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, before I was like, brother, I don't think you understand. The first exchange they have, if he lands one thing, the dude's going to wobble. And then he hit him with that knee. I don't know how that didn't put him out.
The knee was nasty.
Jesus. I am going to slaughter. All right. Next one, Lucas Almeida going up against Michael Aswell.
Yeah, looking forward to this fight. Michael Aswell, making his second UFC fight. He's coming out for a second fight. In the first one, short notice replacement for Balaji Oki. I mean, talk about trying to feed a lamb to the lions and the wolves. I mean, Oki was on an absolute tear. Michael Aswell, last second replacement. came out and did really well against Oki early on. Now, obviously, ended up losing that fight, but the dude can brawl. I think he's very skilled, has a lot of high level skills. And in this fight, he's had a full fight camp. Like those are all very promising things. Now, his opponent, Lucas Almeida, um, coming off of a split decision loss to Danny Silva, he's not fought the best of competition, in my opinion. Like he lost to Pat Sabatini. Like these are all guys that you should outstrike and win since he is a good striker, right? Like if you're getting subbed by Pat Sabatini, who is one of these guys that mostly grapples, right? You got to put him away. You got to win those fights. Beat the guys you're supposed to beat. He doesn't, which is why we're taking Michael Aswell in his second UFC performance to get it done.
Hey, you guys know, only takes one thing for me on film or research or whatever, one big thing that stands out. Michael Aswell trains in Joshua Van's gym. Sign me up, okay? Watching how he fought Balaji Oki. Kid's got a chin in the pocket. He's got nice combos. Very dangerous. Almeida has been rocked by multiple people, multiple different times. Andre Feely's putting you out. Andre's decent. I don't hate Andre Feely. Dude does not have power like that.
Nope.
Lucas Almeida's got a nice striking style. He's just not, he just doesn't use it well. I don't know how else to explain it. And Aswell's got a chin. He really does. Got a chin. I think he's going to have decent takedown defense. It's not like Lucas is going to try and take him down anyways. Yeah, I like his line, minus 142 right now too. I wouldn't be shocked if he puts him out either.
Yeah, 1000%. All right. Moving up, we've got Ricardo Ramos taking on Ofli.
This one's a weird one, guys. This one is a weird one. Conor Ofli, I mean, just a little guy. Small little guy. Coming off the Ultimate Fighter, he was supposed to be a grappling dude. That was kind of a problem, and this and that. You watch film on him, it's just kind of merp. You know, it's nothing he does is I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. That might be a problem. That might. I don't like any of it. And then Ricardo Ramos. I think Ricardo Ramos, Brevin, correct me if I'm wrong, was one of the original people that I said was one of the dumbest people I've ever seen fight in my life. Okay. This is another guy who thinks he's a fucking ballerina. All right? Stop spinning. Stop. All right? If you throw 3 of them and not one of them lands on anything, stop doing it. I cannot stand it. With that being said, he did get a spinning elbow knockout a long time ago. And then dude's just sticking to it. But his recent fight against Chepe, you guys know. I mean, if you're new to the show, we are very high on Chepe. We like Chepe a lot. He didn't get finished by Chepe, right? He got beat up a tiny bit. He didn't quit. Chepe makes a lot of people quit normally. The double guillotine losses. I mean, do I need to say anything else? He's stupid. He's just stupid. I don't know how else to put it. But I don't see anything that Conor Ofli's going to do or can do in this fight to beat Ramos. I really don't. Is he going to ragdoll him and take him to a decision where he outstrikes him and all this? I don't think so. I think Ramos is the more dangerous guy. I just think he's got to put it together, right? It's got to be one of those things where he's got to show out. And like Brevin said earlier, you got to put away and beat the guys that you're supposed to. I think Ramos should beat him easily. Give us a Ricardo Ramos.
Yeah, I will say Ofli does have some guillotine victories on his resume. That's got to be something he looks out for. But hopefully, he's learned from those back-to-back guillotine losses previous to his last performance and took something away from it, right? Got in the practice room and started training how to defend the guillotine. Because if Ofli gets it, then I might agree with JP. Like, hey, man, how many times are you going to get guillotined before we start learning that this is what people are going to do to you? It's like when Tony tries to grapple JP. Same thing over and over. Arm triangle, arm triangle, arm triangle. Hey, Tony, arm triangle is coming. Doesn't matter. Arm triangle. So, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Ramos. Don't get guillotine. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's funny you brought that up when I forgot who it was this weekend, but somebody, God, who was it? Somebody had somebody in an arm triangle, and then they got out of it.
Piper and a boost.
Piper, yeah, it was Piper. I was like, oh, here it comes. He's like, what is it? What is he? Is he searching for rear naked? And I was like, no, he's going for the Tony special. And he was like, oh, what does that mean?
Oh
Like,
my.
hey, arm triangles, buddy. I'm answering the phone. All right. Moving up. Two big boys going at it. Two striking big boys. So this one might be a delight to watch. Joanata Diniz going up against Mario Pinto.
Yeah, Pinto's a very interesting prospect. Very large heavyweight, 6'5", good frame. He's young. He's got crazy power. If you look at his resume, 10 wins, 6 of them via KO, and in his last time out, quick, quick work of Austin Lane in the second round. Um, I think for him, he does a little bit too much feeling out, right? And I think in a 3-round fight against a very good kickboxer, it's going to be troublesome if you're just trying to find range and you're just trying to do a feeling out process, because then you're going to be down and you're going to have to rely on the KO. And so when I look at this fight, I think of Diniz as the better overall striker. I think he's got the better kickboxing, and I think this fight stays at kickboxing range. And for Pinto, he's going to be relying on his one punch KO power that he doesn't put out enough, and we saw in the fight this past weekend with Herrera, that was a lot of the downsides that people were talking about in the first bout against Uncle Live, is that the volume wasn't there. He was too hesitant. He didn't throw. Maybe some of that was the medical issues that were going on. Maybe it wasn't. But we found success when we go out there, march forward, and just throw a big volume, because if one of those things connects, it changes the whole fight. And that's what Pinto's gotta do. I just don't think he will. He's very reserved, but then all of a sudden, after he's getting caught, he's just throwing wild punches, connects, knocks people out. That's cool. It's fun to watch. I just think Diniz is the more technical striker. We're picking Jonathan Diniz. I'm hoping maybe the odds can swing a little bit and Diniz might end up the underdog, but right now I believe he is the favorite, probably deserving of that spot as the favorite, has a little bit more UFC experience.
Yeah, UFC experience and I mean, like you said, kickboxing experience, right? This dude was a high level kickboxer for a long time. I liked Pinto. You know, me and Brevin like Pinto. You can't not like a heavyweight prospect who's gonna knock people out, right? But the one and only, which and we'll see if we can ever get back to it. It's just hard to do it because we enjoy sitting and enjoying the fights on Saturday. But the one and only fight companion we did was the card with Pinto on it, right? Everybody knocks out Austin Lane. That's what Brevin was telling me before we started filming. Everybody does it. There's no specialness to it. Okay. Geno Smith is throwing picks to everybody. It's not special anymore. Okay. It's not cool anymore. Right. So when he did that, good. It's another thing, like Brevin said earlier, you put away the people that you're supposed to, how you're supposed to. Pinto was getting caught by Austin Lane before that, right? He was getting kind of touched up. And then Brevin mentioned it earlier again, the volume, right? We can't just sit there and wait. Because if you wait for the perfect shot to come, it's going to put you, I don't know if you just heard Odin go nuts. This man is barking at something. But it's going to put you in a bad spot because there's times where you're waiting too much. Somebody's at my door and my dogs are just going, can you hear them in the background?
Slightly. You're good.
Just going crazy. It's going to put you in a bad spot because you're waiting, and then maybe you don't see something coming. Also, when you're fighting a high-level kickboxer like this, if you wait forever, this other dude's technically sound too. He's not going to make a stupid mistake that you're just, oh, there it is. And then it's only 3 rounds. Now you're behind on the scorecards. That's all she wrote. So,
Yep.
I mean, we're going to take Diniz just based off of that. If Pinto goes out there, slumps him, does what he's supposed to do, that's fine. Now we know. But it's one of those things where I'm not going to pick a home run shot and then watch the guy who we knew was going to be more technical just out technicality the other dude. Give us Diniz.
Yeah. Yeah, and I refer to guys like what we talk about, the one touch power. I call that the touch of death. And I've given that term to a few guys in the UFC, Herrera being one of them, right? He hits you, you're going to bed. You can't withstand these punches.
Right.
Pinto might have that, but he's got to prove that to me. I don't think he has it yet. Austin Lane is just chinny, and that's what I'm chalking that up to be. So I think Diniz is going to be just fine with the power from Pinto. We'll see though. If he goes out there and knocks out Diniz in the first round, maybe we'll start considering giving you that terminology associated with your name. But for now, you got to prove it to me.
Yeah, you got to throw volume, man.
1000%. All right, moving up. Vicente Luque. How's this guy still in the UFC, man? Taking on Joel Alvarez.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You know, these guys fight for a living, but if I got a brain bleed, I think I'd be done doing whatever gave me the brain bleed. You know. Um, and then he beat Themba. Okay, sure. And then went out there and got choked out by Kevin Holland. I mean, you guys know how volatile Kevin Holland's fucking career is. Um, or 570. God, that fucking dweeb. That's enough about Luque. You're new here on the show. We fucking love Joel Alvarez. Okay, if you guys aren't new, you know this. Dude's a beast. Fucking gnat, dude. Oh god, everything's going wrong right now in this goddamn room. Dude's a beast. He can grapple. He can strike. He was very big for lightweight, and now he's coming up to 170. People are kind of worried about that for some reason. I think it's perfectly fine. The weight cut to 155 was apparently hell for him. Cutting weight's always hell, but apparently it was real bad for him. So now he's going up. His last fight, Drakkar Close. I'll give Drakkar credit. He's not horrible. He's pretty decent. But I think in the breakdown, Brevin, we told them like he could sub him, he could knock him out. And then he was kind of doing a mix of both.
Everything. Yeah.
He had the choke there and he had the KO there, and then he chose to take the KO and just punch him. So he had everything there. I like Joel Alvarez a lot. Everything he does, he's a monster to us, a finisher. Granted, he has been finished before, but this guy goes out there, puts his front foot forward. And like Brevin said earlier, when I know how good my offense is, I'm going to go out there and put it forward and put a bunch of shit out there to not let you get settled in or anything, right? If I get clipped, I get clipped. We can adjust from there. But when my offense is that high level, we're going to go out firing. So we like Joel Alvarez a lot. Give us Alvarez inside the distance.
Yeah, 1000%. I think Alvarez, this move up shouldn't be seen as a bad thing. He is a monster frame for 155. Holy cow, I don't know how he even made that, but
Sure.
170 probably we'll see an even better, healthier, fresher Joel Alvarez. And if you tell me that, that's a scary thing to behold because this dude is a monster. He's got great power in his hands and he's very, very good on the ground as well. He's got a lot of submission victories to his name, and I think sure, Vicente Luque is always a danger, both on the feet and on the ground as well, but he's really kind of taken a step back, guys. I'm not a huge Luque guy at this point in his career. There's been a lot of setbacks. The loss to Kevin Holland is bad. I thought the win over Themba was impressive because Themba had all the hype, right? Kevin Holland, though, you got to beat him if you want to continue on that trajectory. And Joel Alvarez is on his way up the mountain. He's climbing up the ranks. He's going to get up there in the top echelon of the division here soon. He's just got to get through Luque first, which I do believe he can do.
Yeah, Joel's just a killer, man. I'd say he's just maybe top 5 for us on the show. You know, a guy that we like a lot. A guy that's made us some coin, put some coin in our pocket type stuff. All right. Moving up, co-main event. I'm very excited for this one. Deiveson Figueiredo somehow is fighting again, going up against Montel Jackson.
Yeah, interesting matchup here in our co-main. I didn't think we'd be seeing Figgy fight so soon after the knee injury. That's concerning to me. What's his movement going to look like? Is he going to be willing to go down to the ground after what had happened in his last time out? I don't know, and those are all questions that are going to have to be answered. But I will tell you, Montel Jackson is a monster for 135. He stands at 5'10". He has a super long reach, like an extremely long reach for this division. He's almost, I mean, it's not quite there, guys. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but he's almost got 10 inches of reach advantage over Figueiredo. Not quite there. But if that gives you some type of understanding of the differences between these two men, Montel's long, he's tall. You guys know that's my guy, right? I'm a big Montel fan. Figgy, former champ, he's looked okay. He's fought high level guys. He's got all the IQ and the skills necessary to get it done. He's just almost 38 years old. I've kind of seen him take a step back in his career coming off the knee injury. I don't love it. So we're rocking with Montel Jackson to get it done over Deiveson Figueiredo.
I mean, you guys see it. We're huge football fans, right? You see it on the back wall. You see Brevin's wearing his jersey. Chiefs about to play in like an hour or so. You see knee injuries all the time. You're not coming back in 5 months from that shit. Like, I've hurt my knee before. It took a couple months. And even then, I'd say it took like a year to fully be comfortable with kicking, running, exploding off that knee. So if you really, like, I don't know how bad it truly was against Corey, which, talking about Corey now reminded me, we didn't say anything about Merab. Merab does Merab things.
Yeah. Marab's him.
He's him. I mean, dude's a machine. You heard him say that. Aljo, not the best fighter win. Not a good example. Rob, shut up.
It's so funny, man.
Oh, man. Love that guy. But Corey playing the 50-50 leg game with him. And it's, God, every time we bring him up, I just think about him smacking Eileen Perez's ass, bro. And him
I'm sure you do think
smiling.
about that.
Hey, she was there. She showed out for her boy, you know? The Marab
They
fight.
should just get together.
I'm sitting cage side. Marab's gonna fight. But yeah, so the knee thing. I mean, it really is. Like, how serious was it in 5 months already? You guys hear us talk about if you're taking somebody down all the time, if they are tall and long, like Brevin says, Brevin's favorite thing. I mean, you could have somebody jump out of a cake if they're tall and long. Brevin's all fucking about it. You know, if you're trying to take them down and you're shorter, you're the shorter guy. Even if you're really good with takedowns, it's hard because they can post on their arms. Their legs are much higher, so you got to bring the one leg up, and their other one's still on the ground. It's harder to get rid of their balance. So if they already have good takedown defense to begin with, and you're much shorter, it just makes it that much harder. Montel Jackson's hands are massive, so when he hits people, it's like getting hit by a truck. He's very fast. He's a sniper. I mean, everything's just a bunch of red flags for Figgy. And a lot of green flags for Montel. So give us Montel Jackson. Guys locked in over here.
You got to announce my my main event here. I'm ready to go.
You want me to lay it up for you? All right.
Throw that lob, baby.
Rio. It was Oliveira versus Fiziev. Fiziev got hurt or something. Something happened. He got robbed in Rio. He tried to go over there early. They robbed him and stabbed him. Shout out Mark Sanchez.
Hey, whoa. See you soon, man.
Oh man. They tried to throw a bunch of names out there. This name was thrown out, and then he said, "No, I don't want to do it." Now they did do it. Charles Du Bronx Oliveira will now take on Mateusz Gamrot.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out why Charles Oliveira was not so quick to accept this fight. And maybe there is some fine lining, and maybe there are some things that we take from that. Maybe it's a lack of confidence, right? Maybe he doesn't think he can get it done. With Charles Oliveira, he's proven himself as one of the top grapplers in the division. If you guys are fans of UFC, have watched this guy fight before, one of the best grapplers in the world. Very high level. One of the best stories, resurgence of his career. I can go on and on and on. Mateusz Gamrot, he's going to look to wrestle. He's a great chain wrestler. He's got good entries, good pressure, right? We just spoke of Merab. This is a different version of Merab, probably with lesser of a gas tank, but shoots similar levels of takedowns as far as the numbers and totals. Charles Oliveira is going to have his work cut out for him. But JP, I just have one of those feelings inside of my gut. We're in Rio de Janeiro. Charles Oliveira in Brazil. We see a rejuvenated younger, hungry Charles Oliveira like we haven't seen before. Now he is coming off of that loss to Ilya where he got knocked out pretty bad, pretty early. I hope that doesn't deter him from entering the pocket, pressing forward, putting a pace on Gamrot, because that's what Charles is known for, right? Striking, getting in your face, being present. And if you've watched Gamrot fight in the past, that's something that he struggles with is when guys are striking really well in his face, when he isn't dictating the action, when he's not putting the guys on the back foot and he's the one backing up, that's where he struggles. Can Oliveira do that? Is the question that we need answered, but we think he can. So we're taking Charles Oliveira, new Bronx. We're hoping he closes as a dog. All right. We're going to get good value on him. And I just think in his hometown in Brazil, it's going to be a night full of Charles Oliveira. We're going to be singing all the songs. We're going to be smiling. Charles is a great guy. How could you root for anyone else? Give us Charles Oliveira.
Hey guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, Oliveira Fiziev. I was having a tough time not picking Fiziev. Okay, because of what Brevin just said. You're coming off a KO loss, a big time KO loss, and Fiziev is also a very good technical fast striker. Mateusz Gamrot is not that type of striker. Okay, his striking has come a long way from what it used to be, but he is not like that on the feet. Okay. Yes, he can chain wrestle, like Brevin said. His top pressure, it's not like he's going to keep you down, hold you down, and beat the shit out of you. He does to some people. Again, Charles thrives in grappling. This is where he lives, right? So I'm not worried about him holding Charles down and elbow and this and that. The only thing I would be worried about is maybe if Charles is down a couple times and now he's looking for a sub off his back a little too much, right? But Brevin brought up the pressure. Everybody knows that. And Pereira, perfect example, showed you that, right? The Dan Hooker fight with Gamrot showed you that. If a dude is going to come forward and press you and wrestle you, try to attach himself to your hips. The easiest way to negate that is to not let him come forward, throw something at him, get him going backwards. Because when they level change going backwards, it's just up and down. There's no coming at you and level changing, right? So you can time knees, you can throw something on the cage. It makes it much better. Dan Hooker did take a lot of damage. He also stuffed a lot of takedowns. And then immediately when he would stuff him, he'd stand up, go forward, put Gamrot on the back foot. Charles does pressure people. Charles will come forward, right? In the Ilya fight, he came forward. In the Michael Chandler fight, he came forward. In the Gaethje fight, he came forward. Charles Oliveira will come forward and fight you. We think he can do it. That Armin fight, me and Brevin still think should have gone to Charles. A lot of deep submission attempts right there. Gamrot's never been finished. If there's going to be a guy to choke him out, it would be Charlie O. We'll see if he can get it done. Personally, though, we do not feel like Charles DuBronx is done yet. We think he sticks around. Give us Charlie O.
Yeah, I just wonder if Charles feels like this is a keeper type of fight, like to the top five, you know? Like, sure, Gamrot, great wrestler, but Oliveira's fought great wrestlers before. So I just wonder if there's,
True.
I don't know. I mean, it could be like, hey, I don't really see this as a challenge. I don't really see this as improving myself. I've beaten guys like Michael Chandler twice, right? Like I can beat these guys. I want to fight a really good striker in Fiziev, right? You couldn't make that fight happen. He pulled out. Like, give me another good striker because that's where Oliveira can work on his game and become even better, right? Ilya Taporia, better striker, knocked him out, right? Like, so maybe there's just that feeling for Charles, and maybe that's why he's like, no, I don't want Gamrot. No, I've proven I beat Gamrots in the past. Like, this is just nothing new for me. I need a challenge. I need to push myself. I need to prove to myself I have the striking to keep up with guys like Ilya. That I can have another shot at the title. That I can do all these things. Maybe that's it. That's another way to look at it because Gamrot just doesn't do a whole lot that some of these other guys do. You know what I'm saying? Like Oliveira has seen this before, but I do think there's another level to it. Gamrot is a very, very good wrestler, so he's gonna have his work cut out for him.
100%. Yeah, the chain wrestling is really off the charts. Like he is good at it, but you got to stuff a couple, or he can. I don't think Charles will stuff it necessarily, but I think he'll create scrambles. Off those scrambles, I think because Dan Hooker again, he would threaten with a gilly, and then Gamrot would roll onto his back, and then Dan would use that to get up. I think Charlie can threaten with his tight submissions, and then maybe take top position or get up and then press forward, stuff like that. So, should be a good fight.
1000%. That does it for the card. It doesn't do it for the show. Don't go anywhere. We have your free show parlays coming your way right now, starting with Locked Door MMA's lock of the night. JP, who are you locking up?
Pretty obvious, guys. All right, he used to fight at 55. Now he's moving up to 70. Fighting a guy previously had a brain bleed. All right, that dude shouldn't be fighting anymore, especially when you're fighting a killer like Joel Alvarez. New look at 170, and I still think he's a finisher. Give me Alvarez.
Let's go. JP's got Joel Alvarez in. Guys, if you've been following the channel, you know we have rules. We do set rules for ourselves. We try to hold firm to those rules. But this week, I'm breaking one of them. I am breaking a rule for my lock. Give me the big boy, Walter Walker, to get it done over Muhammad Usman. I dug deep. I watched a lot of film. I'm down on the prelims for my lock, just like it was last week. And look how that turned out. Bang. It hit. Walter Walker, Joel Alvarez. Lock it up right now.
And you could even do Alvarez inside the distance. Okay. I think he gets it done.
Yeah. Maybe you add in a Walker submission. Who knows?
Low key, that's probably what I'm doing, honestly.
Walker sub, Joel inside the distance. All right. Time for Brevin's Basic. We're going to do something a little different here. All right. I'm not going to include my lock, but that's just because typically I do. I broke a rule. Now I'm trying to restate the rule or reinstate the rule and hold firm to it. We won't include the big boys. So for that, give me Joel Alvarez to kick us off. Then another tall guy, another long guy, but not a heavyweight. Give me Montel Jackson. And then for my final pick, do I break the rule? I don't think I break the rule. I want to break the rule. I'm just kind of going on a whim. But for my final pick, give me Drew Bronx, Charles Oliveira to get it done over Mateusz Gamrot. Now that should be a great line, and we're probably getting underdog value on that basic, which I typically don't do, but I feel very good about this one.
Like there's a good amount of times you get plus money on the basic.
No, as far as including an underdog.
Oh,
on the basic.
True. Very true. He is an underdog right now too. So, wow. I don't know. Minus 118 for Gamrot right now. You think that inflates anymore at the time the fight goes off?
I do, but there's a lot of Charles fans.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of Charles fans. There's going to be a lot of hype behind him. It's in Brazil. Like, those are some factors that could swing that line. I wouldn't love it if that happened. I think if you're getting Gamrot at dog value, maybe sprinkle some.
Yeah.
Maybe sprinkle some. But if you're getting Charles at dog value, take Charles. But yeah, that's the basic. If you, I wanted to throw Petrino in there. I didn't. I'm like, I can't reinstate the rule, break it again, and then have to reinstate it. So I left Petrino off the basic.
Hey, well, don't worry, because Juicer's got all sorts of juicy fat boys on it, okay?
Let's
Sit down,
go.
Shut up. Let's do it. All right, first one, Montel Jackson. Okay, didn't do Charlie O. Just didn't want to. Okay, didn't want to do DeBronx, but we are doing tall, long Montel. Have him jump out of a cake. Brevin's excited as shit. All right, throw Montel in there. Next one, another tall, long guy, Joel Alvarez. Okay, throw him in there. My lock for a reason. He's nasty. Probably just money line, but again, you could do inside the distance. Okay, find it. You do your research, pair it with ours, and I guarantee it's a winner. Okay, Joel Alvarez, throw him in there. Next one, we're going Michael Aswell. Okay, I know we're not going in order. Fuck it. All right, Michael Aswell, great chin. Almeida gets clipped by everybody, and he has been knocked out before. And he fights with Joshua Van. Okay, nasty. Next one, Clayton Carpenter. Pretty sure this kid was a Golden Glove winner at one point. This kid can box, he can wrestle, he can grapple, he can do it all. He's nasty. Vitor Petrino, the Tree Trunks. All right. He's faster. He's strong as shit. He can also grapple. Pina. He's not getting it done. Okay. Pina can go do whatever else he wants after he's getting slumped. All right. And then the final one, the other fat boy, Walter Walker. You could even do Walter by sub. He's 100% winning. Muhammad Usman sucks. Sucks.
Trash.
6 legs. It's juiced. Not as much as usual, but we've been doing confident picks lately because it is 6 legs and it's just been fucking ridiculous. It's always off by 1. Always. Just like,
I feel good about this week's juicer.
I normally do, and then somebody always sells. Somebody gets hit by a car. The ref
That's true.
stops the fight and then restarts it. Jesus Christ.
That is true. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the channel, you made it this far, we appreciate you. If you aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We're the best to do it in the business, the best UFC prediction guys in the world. JP, we got football tonight. Hopefully the Chiefs get it done.
Oh, yeah.
Things not looking so great for the Raiders right now.
Yeah, I got this sign back here. We got new signage. All right, it was on sale. Okay.
He did get it on sale, so that's a win. Okay. I don't know about the Geno Fatheads. They're probably going up on discount this weekend too.
They go in the trash. This career.
Oh man. All right, JP. I'll let you take us home.
Hey, thank you guys for all the subs, all the love. All right, back over 100 views. The algorithm's been a little rat lately, so help your boys out. All right, drop a like. All right, comment something. Sub like if you aren't subbed, like Brevin said. It's nice to see. All right, we're almost at 600. The road to 1,000. Okay, when I gotta watch this dumpster fire. Jesus Christ! I mean, watching them get beat 40-3. I'm gonna put my hand through the wall and then I look over. Okay, because we got more subs rolling in because we're doing phenomenal on UFC and we're gonna do it again. All right, 7 more weekends, including this weekend. Also, are Chiefs winning? Brevin, can we get a prediction of the score?
Prediction of the score. I think that we have a good night. I think the weather is going to be a little bit rainy, so I'll be a little bit more on the conservative side. I think the Chiefs score 24. I'll give the Jags 17.
Ooh, kind of close game. You need BTJ to do anything, or you got it in the bag?
I'm playing DeGay, so I got it in the bag. Easy dubs.
DeGay's catching a stray here at the end. That is hilarious. All right, ladies and gentlemen, another weekend, another set of fights. As always, it was a pleasure. Bingo, bango, baby.